Welcome. This is part 4 of our transactional analysis lessons, and I will talk about strokes and discounts. Now, as the same terminology with parent, adult, and child, strokes and discounts have different meanings in the books, Games People Play, and I'm Okay, You're Okay. So first I have to ask, what is a stroke? And this is the new terminology from these books, and it's attention. It doesn't mean negative or positive. The word stroke by itself means attention. Now you can put the adjective in front. The positive attention would be a positive stroke, and the negative obviously is negative. So why do we need strokes? Why do we need attention? To live. If we think no one in the world cares about us, we probably won't want to live. We need strokes so much that if people aren't getting enough positive attention, they will do things to get negative attention, because that is at least attention. Others have done crazy things to get attention, even life-threatening actions. Strokes are powerful. Can you think of any examples of people doing crazy things for attention? And when we have a voice thread, I'd like to have you share some of the things that people do. And I'm sure earlier in your school career you've seen young children and they act out in class. Maybe they're not getting enough positive attention at home or elsewhere, so they'll do something to act out to get attention. So we really need attention for survival, and even in prison they'll put people into solitary confinement for a penalty because it's just not desirable. So just to keep in mind that attention is critical for our survival. Now there's 4 lies about strokes. We're very interesting psychologically, and we all need attention, but yet we do things to push these away. One of the lies is that it is not okay to ask for a positive stroke. Now, why on this earth would we not ask for something we need? If we're hungry and we're starving, we will ask for some food. But if we're hungry for some positive attention, we don't want to go up to somebody and say, you know, I'm feeling down and out. Can you make me feel better? Can you say something positive to me? And we're afraid to do that. And we'll talk more about why we are, but it's interesting that something we desperately need, we don't ask. Another one is that it's not okay to give a positive stroke. Sometimes we think about something really nice of a friend or an acquaintance, and yet we don't tell them, and they need the strokes just like we need the strokes, and yet some of us are afraid to actually tell them, and especially for different situations. Maybe a guy doesn't want to tell a girl that he thinks she's really nice. Maybe he'll think he's trying to pick up on her, or they might misunderstand why they're saying something pleasant. But if everybody could just feel free and give people positive strokes all the time, everybody would be a lot happier. And we think that it's not okay to receive a positive stroke. We push them away. Somebody said, wow, you look really good today. And somebody might say, well, not really. And they feel like they shouldn't accept it. And so it's crazy how we are. We really need to just stop and say, thank you, and let the good feelings soak in. And we think that it's not okay to say no to one type of stroke and ask for a different positive stroke. For example, maybe there's a guy and he's really good in sports and everybody compliments him on sports, but he gets really tired of that and he wishes somebody would pay attention to other skills he has. Maybe he's just very, very good in chemistry. Maybe he's good musically, and he just wishes that they wouldn't just focus on one thing, and it gets monotonous. And we learn that it's not polite to say, well, I'm tired of all these compliments you're giving me in this area, but I do have some other attributes that I wish I would get positive strokes for. So it's interesting that we need something so much, yet we push them away. Now, discounts is another term here that's different than you might think. And in our transactional analysis, it actually means no attention at all. And this is devastating because we need attention. And when somebody gives somebody no attention, it's very hurtful. And these are some examples. I didn't answer someone's question or my question wasn't answered. And I don't know if it's happened to you where you've asked somebody a question and they just totally ignore you. It doesn't feel very good. And I don't know if you've done this to other people, but usually people, when they are trying to get somebody mad, they won't answer a question on purpose. And this will be the beginning of a psychological game, which we will discuss after this section. I answered or spoke for someone else, or they did this to me. And there's times when people are standing in a group and somebody asks somebody a question and their friend answers for them, and they're implying that their friend doesn't know how to answer, and it's an insult. So if somebody speaks up for you, please step up and say, "Excuse me, I'll answer that," because it's really a put down. I implied I wanted something, but I didn't ask. For example, I need a pencil, or that wastebasket needs emptying. This is inviting someone to not answer you because you're not asking them anything. So if you're in a classroom and you say, "I need a pencil," somebody else could say, "Wow, I need a new notebook." Or, you're not asking a question, so people can ignore you. You're inviting a discount. That wastebasket needs emptying is actually the beginning of a psychological game, because it's a hint. And when people aren't forthright and they're not coming out with a question, that's just not a healthy situation. So one of the ways to counteract this, if you need something, ask a question so you're not inviting somebody to ignore you. I said, "I don't know" when I did, or "I don't care" when I did. And people will discount themselves if they have an opinion and they just feel like, well, maybe no one will care if I have an opinion, I'll just ignore it, and they don't speak up for themselves. And this is real harmful because it only makes people feel bad. In ignoring your own needs and not taking care of yourself, for example, when you are extra tired and you're not eating well, sometimes we treat ourselves worse than we do our friends. So it's important to take care of yourself, to have your psyche feel happy, because happy people get along better with everyone. So those are some of the examples of what discounts are. Now, describe a time when you discounted someone or someone discounted you, and I'd like to have you share that on a voice thread. And why are discounts dangerous? Well, because they're so hurtful. The person who is discounted during the day will feel angry or depressed or sad, and they might not even know why. And they come home and they might want to pick a fight, or they'll start a psychological game, or they'll blame others, and they're just not fun to be around. And so if people aren't discounted, they're going to be a happier person. And so ways to stop this would be speak up for yourself. Don't let other people speak for you. If you have an opinion, express it. If you feel discounted, speak up and say something, and ask the other person why he or she's ignoring you. And if you want something, ask for it. Don't hint. So those are some helpful suggestions. And then for our next transactional analysis, we will talk about games people play. So come on back for part 5. And I hope that this was interesting. And thank you for listening. Bye-bye.